Good morning, I'm Taylor Larkin.
And I'm Tyler Cower.
Welcome to the E2 News.
This is the news for the week of Tuesday, January 13th to Friday, January 16th.
Here is this week's lunch menu.
Today, chili soup choice chicken rings.
Wednesday, fried chicken, choice fish sticks.
Thursday, spaghetti choice grilled cheese.
Friday, pizza burger, choice burrito with cheese.
The Explorer bookstore will be open this Wednesday during lunch.
And remember, every book just costs $1.50 each.
Skills camp for boys basketball is today and tomorrow. Tryouts will be for 4th and 5th graders only on Thursday and Friday.
Skills camp and tryouts end at 5:30 each day. Remember, students must have all paperwork turned in before being able to participate in camp or tryouts.
It's time to hear the word of the week.
This week's word is bellow.
Bellow means shouted in a loud, deep voice.
For example, Mr. Lambert bellowed, "Line up, recess is over."
Remember to try to use the word of the week when you are talking or writing this week.
Our cookie sale fundraiser will continue from now until next Friday.
This fundraiser is a great way to earn money for our school and earn great prizes for yourself.
For example, if you sell 5 boxes, you can earn 5 carnival tickets. 10 boxes will earn 10 tickets.
If you sell 15 boxes, you get 15 carnival tickets and a ride in the chicken limo to lunch. If you sell 20 boxes, you get 20 carnival tickets, a wristband for unlimited trips in and out of the bounce houses, and a ride in the chicken limo to lunch.
Sell those cookies.
And now it's time for the
Shout out of the week.
Miss Shaw would like to give a shout to 3rd grader Emma Goodson, who passed her 12s in multiplication. Way to go, Emma.
Dr. Scott would like to give a shout out to Mrs. Reisinger's class for spelling out perfect attendance and earning a class popcorn party. Great job, 4th graders.
And now it's time for Mrs. Womack to do the fish cast drawing for books.
Good morning, Eastside Explorers, and once again, it's time for our fish cast drawing for books. Remember, if your name gets called, come on down to the office and get a certificate that you can use for a free book on Wednesday at the Explorer Bookstore during your lunchtime. 1st graders, we're going to start with you. Here we go. Our first grader from Mr. Barnett's class, Sydney Stevens. From Mrs. Shuck's class, Matthew Allison. From Mr. Barnett's class, Acoria Wright. And our last 1st grader for this week. From Mrs. Adams' class, Jayla Wilson. Come on down and get a certificate. From 2nd grade, Mrs. Hines' class, Jada Smith. From Mrs. Miller's class, Clayton Mahan. From Mrs. Miller's class again, Jack Womack. And our last winner from 2nd grade for this week is from Mrs. Miller's class again, and it is Zaria Nickham. Come on down and get a certificate. 3rd grade, from Mrs. Shaw's class, Wiltrion Gaucher. From Mrs. Sanders' class, Dakota Jameson. From Mrs. Shaw's class again, Jacob Wilkes. And our last 3rd grader for this week, from Mrs. Stanley's class, Gabby Martinez. Come on down and get a certificate. 4th grade, from Mrs. Reisinger's class, Bethany Lopez. Mrs. Biggis's class, Corey Holden. Mrs. Reisinger's class, Chanston Jones. Our last winner from 4th grade for this week is from Mrs. Biggis's class again, Bowen Libler. Come on down and get a certificate. Miss Plummer's class, Enrique Ramirez. Miss Plummer's class again, Gavin Spaeth. Oops. Miss Plummer's class again, Zabriel Tolston. And our last winner, how about this one, from 5th grade for this week, Miss Plummer's class again, Miss Taylor Larkin. Come on down and get a certificate. And once again, Eastside Explorers, thank you for being proud, positive, and productive.
Have a great week.